My oaths betray each other till there's nothing left to keep.
Only Us by Miracle of Sound. Alright, and welcome back to the Shardbreaker podcast. I am Midnight, your host, and I am here with Mythic.
Hello.
And Darkness.
Hi.
And this is episode 14 of Words of Radiance. We did chapters 60 through 66 this week, as we had quite a few smaller chapters. I also want to, as always, mention that we do have our Patreon. You're technically able to join for free. I put updates when new episodes are uploaded. And also, if you want to see special content by me of the most recent Cosmere stuff, you can pay to be one of our singers. And so, yeah. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to another Cosmere podcast called Following Noadon, who recommended us. When I made on Patreon, you can do a whole bunch of recommend similar podcasts. So I did a bunch of the ones that I listened to that inspired me to do this podcast, and they recommended us back. So thank you to Following Noadon. I don't know. Do you guys know what the reference is? Following Noadon? I don't know if you remember that name.
I don't remember the name, to be honest.
It's a Stormlight reference.
I don't remember who Novodon is. Sounds familiar, but I just don't remember.
Do you remember, Darkness, who Noadon is?
Ain't it that one Pokemon?
Pokemon. Noadon is the guy who wrote the in-world book Way of Kings that Dalinar meets in one of his visions.
Oh yeah. I remember him.
Yeah, so he's like the king that does the whole I walked from a Bambabar to Urithiru, and Dalinar quotes him all the time. And everyone's like, what the fuck is wrong with you quoting this book all the time? So that's that guy. So yeah, and then we start off chapter 60 called Vale Walks with a picture of a mosaic of Storm Seat, which was the capital of the old Natanatan. We get a reference to it in one of these chapters. I don't remember if I think it's the first chapter here. This is what that city apparently used to look like.
Gotcha.
And I believe the Oathgate is either the central tower where all the roads lead to, or it's the big green platform with the purple circle in the center. It's one of those two buildings, because they mentioned that it's a big platform.
How do you not know? You
Big green platform.
So you see on the inside the city walls on the bottom left, there's a green.
That shit is a purple platform.
No, there's purple with green surrounding it, is what I'm saying. I said there's a green circle with a purple circle in the middle.
No, I don't think she said that. Did you think she said
No.
that?
I did say that.
She did not.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, it's one of those two buildings. I don't know which one.
By the way, I'm hoping you get sick of right before the next podcast.
Why?
Cause it's funny.
You just want me to always be sick on the podcast?
Yeah.
Kind of, actually.
Oh
It's
my
kind of like an ongoing thing now.
Mhm.
If I'm not sick, you're sick, Darkness.
Exactly
I'm
what
never
saying.
sick.
Uh-huh.
Bullshit.
I don't know if Mythic's ever had a cold or anything while we've been on the podcast. Mythic's just immune.
Yeah, I'm just immune for
You're
sure.
you're magical. You got magical healing powers.
Yeah, whatever dawn that is.
Yeah, so our first epigraph here for chapter 60 is, have you given up on the gemstone now that it is dead? And do you no longer hide behind the name of your old master? I am told that in your current incarnation, you've taken a name that references what you presume to be one of your virtues. So what do you think is meant by...
Somebody talking to a god.
Well, I think I already confirmed to you that this is the
know.
response letter to Wade.
To a god. Yeah, to a god. Got it.
But what do you think is meant by the gemstone?
One of the shards. I think?
Sorry, it's one of the shards, you think?
Yeah, so maybe one of the shards.
Clearly, it's the Chaos Emerald.
The Chaos Emerald.
Yeah. Wade has all the Chaos Emeralds, I'm sure.
Not that ass. What if it's just like one of those big things that holds a shit ton of Stormlight?
The gem hearts?
Hmm.
I think it's just a very big gem heart.
Yeah,
Apparently the
why
gemstone is now dead.
That means it's done.
It's inactive, yeah. You know, like, what's his name wanted to bring Shallan to?
Mm.
An inactive one.
So we get We start with Shalon's point of view as she shuffles through papers in her bedroom. She grabs an ancient map of the area as well as a copy of the map from Amram's rooms that she had drawn. Shalon states that there is a pattern with where the old map shows the capital of Natanatan and where they currently are. Pattern does not agree that there is a pattern, as Shalon has to state the old map is wildly inaccurate. She's like, you just gotta be creative with it. He's like, it is not a pattern.
Not a pattern.
Pattern then mentions that Shalon's sleep schedule usually has a pattern, where she goes to bed at second moon, but tonight she does not. Shalon just replies that her head won't let her sleep currently.
Can't sleep, and I love
Wait, how many
Pattern's
moons are
response.
there?
You would annoy Pattern so much, Darkness. He'd be like, what do you mean you can't sleep? People need sleep. You should be going to bed at the same time every single night. It's a pattern.
I love it. I love his response to her though, of just like, "What do you mean you can't sleep? Is it this day specifically?" Or...
Yeah, he's like, is it the day of the week? Is it like, do you have like some like ailment or something? Like, what do you mean you can't sleep? He just does not understand.
How many moons are in this?
There's 3 moons.
Oh my god.
That's crazy. The tides must be terrible.
It's probably why you can't sail out towards the origin. They're probably not just the high storms, it's probably just the ocean's fucked up as shit.
It's a tides of war.
So Shalon then thinks that she has finally finished going through Sabarial's financial records, and she had slipped in a note about Earthiru to Pelona when handing in the reports. Shalon hoped that if she implied there were riches out on the Shattered Plains other than the gem hearts, Sabarial might take her out with his armies if Adolin's attempt didn't happen. She also tried to get in touch with Navani again, but she was apparently busy caring for Dalinar, who was currently sick. Another of her worries was that her brothers had yet to respond to her letters telling them to leave Yaakoved. So, first of all, do you think Dalinar being sick is why we haven't gotten many of his point of views lately?
I don't think that's why.
He's delusional.
Why do you think it is then, Mythic?
What Darkness just said.
Just that he's delusional.
No, like
Yeah.
that ass.
Yeah, he's beginning to become more and more. What's the
Crazy.
yeah, kind of. I mean, I guess that's the best way to put it. Yeah.
Well, people were saying that his brother Gablar had been getting more and more erratic before his death, and he had apparently been seeing potentially seeing the visions before Dalinar had been, because he was also like, oh, the way of kings, oh, this and that, speak the words.
I'm sure there's meds for that.
I don't think they have therapists or anything, or mental health help. I don't think there are pills for that.
There's probably jugs. Jugs always help. Don't quote me on that.
Oh, why not? Why wouldn't we quote you on that? On the show?
Also, why do you think Shalon's brothers have yet to respond to her?
They're dead.
Because they don't like her?
Do they though? I don't really think they do like her.
I mean, she was their one hope of like not being probably like executed by like having all sorts of like issues.
She was also apparently
yeah.
the reason why they got fucked up by their father.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking too. And I mean, the whole take our stepmom and get out of here kind of thing. Maybe she corrupted them.
Maybe.
Maybe she lied to them.
She actually ratted them out to her dad. So Pattern brings up sleep again, and Shalon mentions that people aren't scared to sleep because they will wake up in the morning. She also makes a joke about people's intelligence, but Pattern doesn't get it and repeats a joke he heard from Vatha's men about a man visiting a prostitute and thinking she wanted to cut
Good
off the
joke.
tip of his penis.
Very good joke. I loved his joke. It was so funny. For Pattern, it was hilarious.
Pattern was like, ah yes, I heard this joke. I understand that this is a joke. What you said, I do not understand.
What you said is definitely not a joke.
He's like, you're just not funny, Shalon. Look at how funny I am.
Yep. He is pretty funny, so funny looking.
Pattern then tries to bring up the fact that Shalon had forgotten how to have her light wings make sound, but Shalon disassociates before returning to her maps. Shalon then mentions how scholars don't think that Stormseat could have been on the plains, but Yasna disagreed. Shalon mentions that the Parshendi could have gotten their weapons from the ruins of the city and that the war camps area may have been a satellite city as the craters didn't match any depictions of Stormseat. She could tell from the information in Amram's map room that he had come to the same conclusion as Yasna, that Stormseat had been here and the only way to Earthira was through an Oathgate, one of which could have been in Stormseat, although she couldn't figure out why he wanted to return the Voidbringers. So what do you think Amram might know about the Oathgates in Earthiru?
I think he's much like Ruin being corrupted by the evil god of this book.
So you think maybe he's like been given information because he's working for like Odium?
Yeah. I mean, if Odium is the bad god, yes, sure.
As far as we know right now, Odium's the bad guy.
Nah, I don't think so. I think Odium's just a great guy and a stand up guy.
Yo.
What if Odium's just misunderstood?
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking. He's just misunderstood.
The only reason he killed the other shards is because they attacked him first. It was self-defense.
Exactly. 100%.
Actually, we don't know if that's
Not true. Yeah, I know, right?
All we know is that Wit seems to think that Odium's a bad guy.
Yeah, but Wit's a bad guy too, so
I was gonna say, considering we don't know what Wit actually is gonna do and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we know about Wit is that he seems to be going around to a bunch of the different planets, getting a bunch of the different types of investiture, and that he said to Downer at one point, we may or may not be on the same side. Depending on what you do.
Affirmative.
Yep.
Yeah.
That definitely tells us what side he's on.
Yeah, that definitely tells us how good he is as a person.
Yep. So Shallan speaks to herself, speaking about how the scholars forget to take into consideration that the Shattered Plains wasn't always shattered. Something terrible had happened to break the plains. Pattern then tries to bring up Shallan remembering things about her past, but Shallan gets upset and asks if he wants her to be someone who can't laugh and is crippled by her past. She forms a light weaving.
Yes, he does. Exactly what he wants. Like, what?
She forms a light weaving of herself, huddled in a ball, unable to cry because she has already cried so much. She briefly thinks about times in her garden, creating images from light, but then dissociates again. So what do you think about Shallan both consciously and subconsciously repressing her memories?
It makes sense. She's, traumatized.
It's annoying. Get over it.
Yes, just get over all this horrific
She's had
trauma.
enough time, bro.
Hey, Darkness.
What?
Just get over your depression.
You know, I am. I'm still going.
With
Magic.
the depression, yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's magic.
And I can manage the things I need to do without actually,
Whoa.
letting
That's what
it
she's
go.
doing. She's managing
Yeah,
things
He
by
is
repressing
not.
her memories.
She's repressing it. That's management.
Pattern was literally like, oh, you need to learn how to do this. Huh? What's this clue I just found? No.
He's like, you need to remember how to make your images make sounds. Oh, maps! Look, maps!
Exactly. I mean,
Like, I have severe anxiety, especially in a social setting, but if somebody was like, oh, no, I'm gonna come visit over here and I'm actually gonna fucking hang out with you, yeah, I'm gonna push through, you know? But
Uh-huh.
okay.
Yeah, like you did with me.
Okay, but that's different. I have money.
I was gonna say.
You do for method.
But sure. Not everything's about you, Midnight. Oh,
Right.
I see how it is. I'm just hated here. No one loves me.
Shorter people just ask for more
mean,
attention because,
don't you already know
they're
that?
children.
Don't you know already know you're hated here? Like, what?
Wow.
Thought that was a given.
Wow.
I think we need to
Considering
make
how
this
she
more
bullies us off stream, you know.
What the
I know.
you bully me off stream.
What do you mean? I
Definitely
barely
bully-
even
definitely
talk to you.
You definitely bully us with your shortness, okay?
Okay. So Pattern mentions how deep Shallan's lies are, and that Shallan will have to relearn how to use her abilities if she can't remember. Shallan asks if Pattern can't just tell her how to use them, but Pattern replies that he almost died, and he was dumb for so long that his memories are weak. Shallan then dismisses the image of herself huddled into a ball and draws a picture of Vale before creating it into a light weaving. She tries for a while to get it to produce sound, but nothing works. Eventually she moves to
Next thing is she is so smart for what she does next.
Eventually she moves to get a glass of water, but as she moves away from the light weaving, the image blurs. Before we go into what she does, what do you think about Pattern saying he almost died?
No idea, to be honest. It kind of slipped my mind that he even said that.
Wait, who died?
I
So
don't know what that is.
Shallan had asked Pattern why he couldn't just tell her how to do the things she used to be able to do, but he says he almost died, and then he was dumb for so long that his memories are weak. So
it's like they're bound almost, bro, right?
sounds like it, yeah. Sounds like
Makes you
Shallan,
think.
probably by repressing her memories, fucked up her
Killed
bond
her
with
father.
Pattern and
Yeah.
almost
What
killed
if-
him.
100%, because she killed her father.
Wait, no. I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck was in that safe painting box thing, whatever.
I believe the Shardblade is what's in the safe.
Really?
I'm pretty sure they've implied that in her previous memories, because that's why she keeps calling it Mother's Soul,
my
is
God,
because it's
Renee.
what killed her mom.
Girl, you need to go clear your nose or something.
Look, I'm doing my best here.
Um, yeah. Maybe. Well, obviously, she's got the sharp blade now, right? Maybe
Yeah,
that
obviously.
fucks up the bond too.
Mm.
Yeah, no, that's why Calvin doesn't want one. Yeah.
Kaladin doesn't want it because he's fucking
Subconsciously.
traumatized.
Subconsciously, he doesn't want one because
He also needs to get over his shit. The fuck.
you're not wrong.
Like Midnight said, there's no fucking therapy here.
Is that what Midnight said? I thought Midnight said that she needed a therapist.
I mean, I do, but also there is no therapy here.
I mean,
No therapy on Roshar. You either
Midnight,
deal with
are
your
you
problems
talking to
or you
someone?
die.
You should really find someone to talk to, you know.
yeah, 100%. I mean, we all know Jesus doesn't talk to you.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you can talk to Jesus. The other one.
Yeah, she needs Jesus for sure.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, so Shallan tries to place a sphere at the image's feet, but it still blurs as Shallan walks away, as it's feeding off the stormlight inside her instead of from the sphere. However, when Pattern gets close to it, the image gets clear again. Shallan somehow pushes her stormlight into Pattern so that he glows before walking over to the wine and happily knowing that her light weaving stays as clear as when she was close to it if Pattern is there. She then has an idea and attaches the light weaving to Pattern, allowing it to move when he moves. However, it doesn't look like it's walking, and Shallan wonders if she can change that. So what did you think about...
I'm sorry. You know what would be cool that you can do with her light abilities?
Mm.
What if you like you're in the middle of well, what if you're about to start a fucking battle and then you just like illusion more shard blades? Like what if you're like you pull out your actual shard blade, but at the same time you make like 6 other fucking shard blades?
That would be super interesting.
Because then which one are they gonna focus on? You know?
You just have like a fake shard blade in one hand and a real one in the other. You just pretend you're dual wielding shard
Girl,
blades.
why would you stop at one hand?
Well, if you only have to, I
You
mean,
make
they're not going to
multiple hands.
But are they going to believe that?
But does it matter? At that point, if you do that, what the fuck are they gonna think? You know?
They just run. They're like, I'm not dealing with that shit.
Personally, if you can break their like sense of reality, then you know that's a win.
But what do you think about Shallan having progressed further in her abilities in the past compared to now? So like she was better at her light weaving.
Child her has a better grasp on life than now her.
Yeah, exactly. Than her right now. Yeah, for sure.
Also, what did you think about Shallan using Pattern to move her illusions?
That was so smart, honestly. I wish I had thought of that. That was such a cool idea.
Then she makes a gif of her later, in one of the later chapters to make her look like she's walking. Just like a like looping gif.
She's great. She'd be great at like a cinema or something.
She'd be great at charades.
Shallan makes the first movie ever made. She just like starts selling movies.
Yeah, of her life.
And here's how I killed my mom, and here's how I killed my dad, and here's how I killed my brothers, obviously, because no one, definitely wasn't Amaram or Kaladin who did that. And here's how I almost killed my Spren, and here's...
I'm hoping you like slip up and give us like a spoiler.
I was hoping to be honest, but
nope.
It would have been hilarious.
Maybe I did. Maybe she does.
Lover, and then framed it as if it was my mother's.
Here's how I actually killed the real Shallan, and I'm actually an imposter.
Guess how I killed Jasmine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, she probably actually would make that one. So she definitely murdered Yasna for sure.
Right, she's dead. I forgot.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
And then we move on to chapter 61, Obedience. And it's 1.5 years ago.
We don't need obedience. We don't need obedience in life. What are you talking about?
Oh, my dear, I'm gonna say it right here, right now.
Oh,
you know that little writing before everything, the epigraph or whatever?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I made absolutely no connections. I just read them.
That's fine.
I do it all the time. It's okay.
So this chapter is 1.5 years ago. So we switch to past Shallan's point of view as she plays the perfect daughter. Her father had proven that if she angered him, he would hurt others instead of her. When she wasn't around, her brothers tried to cheer her up by getting her to tell stories and jokes. Her father slowly gets better at dealing with the other Light Eyes and finds a new marble deposit on their lands to back up his bribes and deals. But the darkest never leaves his eyes. So based on context, this seems to be around the time that her father gets the Soulcaster, since he's making new marble deposits. And also we get confirmation during this chapter that Luesh has joined them recently, and we know that Luesh was the guy who knew how to use the Soulcaster and also had a ghost blood tattoo on him. So what do you think about these dealings that Shallan's father is getting involved with?
Evolved? I knew it was Pokemon.
Involved.
I mean, didn't we already know he was involved with the Ghost Bloods though?
Yeah, but we knew that already because of the Soulcaster and everything. But I was just saying, like, what do you think about like the fact that he's like? It seems like maybe he got the Soulcaster because he's trying to like bribe all these people. Like he's like slowly getting into more and more like worrisome
deep,
things. Yeah.
Yeah, much like his own daughter. Yeah.
She really
too
takes
deep
after
in-
her dad.
Yeah, she really does. Hey, by the way, just get this tattoo that'll, brand you for life that you're a member of our organization.
Member of the
Calvin
organization that tried to kill Yasna, or did kill
Calvin
Yasna.
might want to be careful though, because her father has a whole thing on beating on people that are lesser. So
She's gonna suddenly like go into a fit of anger and beat up Kaladin.
Maybe.
here's your
Would be.
fucking boots, pow.
You killed my brother.
Oh, I guess that's more valid than the boots.
So we move to a family lunch where Balat is arguing with their father about wanting to marry Aelita. However, their father thinks she is too low ranked of a light ice for Balat to marry. Instead, he suggests the High Princess' daughter, who is 50 and whose husband had died in a duel. Balat then calls their father.
That's so dumb.
That's valid. The fuck?
Oh my god.
He's like, yes, you like probably late teen, early 20-something-year-old. You should go marry the High Princess' daughter, who's like more than twice your age.
It's fine. Do it for the family.
Yeah, Diddy party out here, god damn.
Oh, not that.
Balat then calls their father a murderer, which causes him to have a guard go put down Balat's new Axhound pups, as he claims they are sick from the recent high storm. So what did you think?
Lovely. Show your power, dude. Show your power.
So yeah, what did you think about their father trying to control who Balat marries and punishing him by killing his pups?
Yes, show your power.
Oh wow,
Joy
a grown
in the dark
man
side.
trying to show his power by killing dogs.
Darkness, show your power.
Yeah, he's just gonna go
Joy
kill
the
all the
dark
puppies,
side.
all the crab puppies.
Oh my god, yeah, I forgot that's what they look like, to be honest.
Yeah, they're crab
They-
puppies.
Looking
they
at
honestly-
them.
They deserve to be put down, to be honest, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would never say that.
No, not at all. Why would anybody want to put down these ugly crab creature looking things?
Kind of remind me of Midnight.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of. We always want to put her down, so.
Wow.
Oh, that's crazy.
Balat brings up Hellerin, but their father gets angry and says to never bring up his name in their house. He then leaves, followed by their new steward Luesh, and soon after, Balat goes to the
Anybody
kennels.
listen to me? I'm so misunderstood.
Why don't they just know that I only have what's best for the family at heart? They should all just listen to everything I say.
He has a heart.
This is when? Since when? When did he
Right
get one of
now,
those?
He's like caring about everyone.
When did he get a heart? I don't remember this.
He stole it from their brother.
Oh, yeah, true.
A gem heart.
So Shallan soon follows after and sees that the pups are already dead in a pool of violet blood, and Balat is surrounded by pain spread. He'd been getting better.
Violet?
Yeah, apparently some of the crab creatures' blood is violet. I believe the
Oh,
chasm fiends also have violet blood.
I need him to like
Same creature.
release a book where it's just like the biology and stuff of all
You
these
know
creatures.
what? With the Stormlight fucking TTRPG, we are gonna get books like that where it goes way more into depth of like the creatures and like countries and all sorts of stuff about Roshar. So that is coming.
Now that you said it's a thing, I don't want it no more.
I had a feeling you were
Wow.
gonna say that. Alright, so yeah, they're down in a pool of violet blood, and Balat is surrounded by Painspren. He'd been getting better about not hurting creatures lately. Balat talks about leaving and bringing Shallan with him, but Shallan won't leave their father, and definitely won't leave their two other brothers, who Balat says he couldn't afford to take with him, especially the one who keeps gambling away all their shit.
I wonder.
Balat just replies that he'll try to think of something else then. Shallan then goes back into the house and overhears her father speaking to one of the guards, asking the man to kill Hellerin and stating that he can keep Hellerin's Shardblade if he does. Shallan is shocked, but Melise, her stepmother who is also in the room, is also upset. She gets angry at Shallan's father, and eventually Shallan has to leave as the guard leaves her father's office. Soon after,
Honestly, kind of shocked me that she was also, like, so bent out of shape about it.
she was
Wait, who are we talking about?
the stepmom.
Oh yeah, I don't like her.
I like her. I think I have a mixed relationship, like mixed thoughts about her, to be honest. But I don't think she's a terrible person. I just think she's kind of going about things a little wrong.
Well, I think kind of like the rest of them, she's probably just trying to survive in this fucking household.
Wonder how that's going.
Soon after, she hears her father shouting about how no one is obeying him. So what
obeys me? You just listen to me.
what do you think about Balat wanting to run away?
It's a good choice, honestly. Just leave.
She thought of it first, right?
No, he did. He said he
Really?
wants to run away with the woman he likes, Aelita, and he's like, I could bring you with us because like your like writing and artistic abilities, like you could make some money. The three of us can like make enough money to like sustain ourselves. Like, even
He
if
wants to use her. Okay.
Yes, just like everybody else in her life.
I mean, he kind of does, but I think he also says that him and Aelita could make good money. I think he was just saying that like of his three siblings, he's like, you're the one person I feel like could help like sustain themselves, whereas I don't trust the other two brothers to like pull their
Child
weight.
labor. Okay.
Yeah, the gambler, and
The depressed one.
yeah, totally couldn't just get him, some help or anything.
Well, I think he says he wants to become an ardent, so he wouldn't technically, I think, be making money for the family anyways. He'd go off to the Ardentia and do his own thing if he became an ardent, which I feel like at least help him leave so he can go join the Ardentia.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here, dude. God damn.
It's just the gambler brother that's the issue. Maybe he'd stop gambling and being so self-destructive if he's away from their dad.
I don't know. Once a gambler, always a gambler. So
Uh,
gambling is kind of a big problem.
Also, what do you think about their father ordering for Helleran's death?
That's valid.
Yeah, pretty much. After what he did, yeah.
Get rid of
sure.
your children, before they get rid of you.
Damn.
100%. I'm glad we're on the same page here, Turns.
Yeah. Midnight wouldn't know.
Yeah, no. Never had a child in our life,
No,
No.
just cats. Anyways, chapter 62, The One Who Killed Promises. And our epigraph is, this is, I suspect, a little like a skunk naming itself for its stench. So what do you think about this person's opinion of Hoyd calling himself Wit?
Funny, to be honest. And I also kind of agree.
Wait, what was it?
The epigraph was, this is, I suspect, a little like a skunk naming itself for its stench. So he's basically saying, like, you calling yourself Wit is like a skunk calling itself stinky.
Oh! That makes more sense.
And it's true, too, see? Yeah.
So we switch to... oh, sorry.
Is it wit for wit, or is it wit for witness? Because he'd be everywhere.
Yeah, right?
It's both.
Yeah.
Got a double meaning.
He is definitely a witness to many crimes that he could also have stopped, but chose not to.
So we switch to Caldon's point of view, as he thinks that living in the slave wagon had been better than being in the dungeon cell, as at least he had changing scenery to look at. At night, the darkness is heavy, and he feels like he's miles beneath the stone ground. He wakes up each day to the spheres being put back in the hallway lamps, and he was given breakfast and his chamber pot was switched out. After eating, he does push-ups to try to keep up his strength. Caldon then looks around for Syl, who had been hiding from him lately. She speaks, mentioning that a cryptic was at the fight. She mentions that she doesn't like cryptics, but that it's looking for someone and that Caldon likely won't be the only Radiant around soon. Caldon worries that the Spren is going to choose Adolin, although it also comforts him to think of someone else having powers like him, even if it ended up being Adolin. Suddenly he hears someone entering the cell area, and he wonders if Wit had returned. Instead, he sees Dalinar and instinctually stands and salutes, even though he feels silly doing so while behind bars. So why do you think Syl is hiding from Kaladin?
Becoming darker
She's fucking dying.
You think he's killing her?
over
Yeah.
time. Huh?
I mean, the Stormfather told Kaladin he was going to end up killing Syl.
Great. Love the spoilers, Storm Daddy.
Storm Daddy, go.
So Dalinar tells Kaladin that Elhokar had calmed down, but worries that he'll look weak if he lets Kaladin out too soon. He suggests that Kaladin will be out in a few days and reinstated to his previous position. Dalinar then notes that his imprisonment is hard on Kaladin, but reassures him that his men are safe, and the two of them have been guarding the building at all times. Kaladin then brings up Moash's grandparents and how he may be left in prison like they were. Dalinar says that the Rashon situation had been a mistake, causing Kaladin to have flashbacks to Rashon's son dying. So what do you think about Dalinar coming to see Kaladin?
He just wants to see his own cat. He just wants to see his captive, honestly.
Right. He's into that kinky shit.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, so is Kaladin. I mean,
Apparently Adolin is too, considering that he was like...
oh yeah, he jumped right on in there. He was like, "Fuck yeah, put me in there too." Yeah.
Just starting a new thing.
Also,
That's
just give me like all of the amenities of a free man, though.
I mean, he doesn't want to live barbarically, even if he's in prison.
Okay, but he couldn't afford like a fucking razor.
Apparently not. Also, what do you think about the fact that the person who got Moash's grandparents sent to jail was Roshon?
Who the fuck is Roshon?
The guy who sent Tien to war. The
Wait, Tien went to war? Man, that three-eyed guy gets everything.
Who the
Dragon
fuck
Ball
is
Z
Tien?
Dragon Ball Z
Tien's the
reference.
brother. Kaladin's brother who died.
Who
Roshan
the
was their
fuck is
city lord.
Paladin?
Oh my god.
I'm joking.
So Kaladin pushes for more information, and Dalinar states that Roshan had gotten Elhokar's ear when he was crown prince, and Dalinar had been away. When Dalinar returned, he had made sure Roshan was exiled to a small town where he couldn't cause any more issues. Kaladin almost laughs and mentions that he worries about a man who caused deaths not going to prison. But Dalinar replies that Roshan had been a close person to Sadeas and he didn't want to dissuade leniency with Elhokar. He then asks if Kaladin has issue with him, but Kaladin replies his issue isn't with Dalinar. Dalinar then insists that Kaladin needs to respect Elhokar as his bodyguard, and Kaladin replies that he respects the throne. So what do you think about Dalinar's involvement in Roshan moving to Kaladin's town?
If I were Kaladin, I'd be over Dalinar. But
Yeah, I mean, kind of keeps fucking up a lot, to be honest.
at this point, just like marry Adolin.
Oh my god.
He could have.
Isn't that Schlong's fucking?
I was gonna say he could
They're
have
not married
two
yet.
She
But
could.
that's,
Yeah, he
that's
could
her
have
job,
two
though,
siblings.
to marry him.
They could be a trio, you know. It's fine.
Oh god. Yeah.
They'd be
Fucking
way more happier
polyamory.
that way.
Polyamory in this life. That's funny. I agree they would be happier, though. Just saying.
Kaladin needs someone like Adolin to be like a happy person in his life. He used to get
Especially
his
after
depression.
Adolin gets his search
First
bandit
off,
abilities.
the fact that Adolin backs him up in that is
Adolin is the best boy. You see why I love him so
right.
much.
After all of the fighting with Kaladin, he's like, nah, I didn't find it right to have you in prison, so I also imprisoned myself, even if I got like all the creature comforts, anyways.
Yeah, he was like basically like I'm like protesting your like jail time.
But I'm still gonna be here with all of my,
Yeah, but he's still there
comforts.
protesting, which is something. And then he's also like, oh yeah, I instantly believe you about Amaram.
I'm
No
fully
questions
convinced
asked.
if they got put in the same jail cell, they would end up together. Anyway,
He's like, you put me in the same cell as the bridge boy.
They would have made love in there for sure.
Oh my god.
oh god! Suddenly we're reading a different type of book.
God.
Yeah, can we read that book? I think that book's better.
Anyway, so Dalinar then goes on about how he chose Kaladin not just because he didn't think Kaladin and his men would spy for Sadeas, but also because it felt right to trust Kaladin. He says that although Kaladin's eye color shouldn't matter, it does, and Kaladin won't change that by acting the way he is. He'd change things by showing that he deserved positions above his rank. Dalinar then leaves, and Kaladin sits down.
So, like, he showed that in the battlefield. What are you talking about?
Right? But yeah, so Kaladin sits down and complains a bit to himself after Dalinar leaves. Selen speaks, but she isn't seen, saying that Dalinar was just trying to help. Kaladin then thinks that it's Elhokar's fault that Roshan was sent to his town, and Tien ended up dead in the army. He thinks that maybe Moesh is right.
So when Kaladin eventually gets out and finds out that Adolin is in the cell, in the other cells or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
At first, when they said that, I thought it was the one dumb kid that decided he wanted to be a bridge kid.
Oh,
guy.
Renarin?
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's totally him, and then yeah,
It is random.
Renarin was there. He was with all the rest of Bridge 4 celebrating Kaladin getting out.
but he
Really?
wasn't
Yeah.
the one to protest and be like,
He was
hey,
not.
walk me away too.
No, Adolin...
It's funny because
Hmm?
I was reading
Yeah.
through it, and I was like, okay, I need to look for Renner and make sure he's still there. I ain't see that motherfucker anywhere. In
Yeah,
the
no, when
chapters.
he gets out, they literally say, like, he's like, oh yeah, all of Bridge 4 was there in, like, the, like, kind of, like, jail break room for the guards, and then he's like, oh yeah, Renarin's there with all the Bridge 4, he's got his little fidget toy, and he goes up to talk to Adolin, because
The
Adolin was
Rubik's
also...
Cube?
Yeah, his little, like, Rubik's Cube fidget toy. He, like, goes up to Adolin to talk to him. And he says he's wearing his Bridge 4 uniform as well, so he's, like, showing his support by wearing the Bridge 4 uniform.
Yeah, that's great support, man. Could've
Yes,
just,
supporting my favorite
Adolin
team.
I'm sure it was real easy to guard Adolin as, like, the rest of Bridge 4 if he was in jail with Kaladin. Made it easy on them.
Yeah, right.
They're like, this is our excuse for staying around Kaladin, is we're like, yeah, we're just protecting Adolin.
Exactly. Makes 100% sense.
But yeah, so what did you think about Dalinar saying that Kaladin is going about changing society the wrong way?
I agree, but at the same time, I don't disagree that what he did was like,
Is it
needed.
Kaladin? You said Kaladin's going on?
Yeah,
going
so
about-
basically, Dalinar kind of says, like, you having this little temper tantrum and calling out Amram in this way is like not the right way to change society's views on dark eyes.
You know, he's totally valid for doing it that way, though.
I agree, but
Because doing it any other way hasn't been changing anything.
I think both Dalinar and Kaladin are wrong in different ways. Like I think Dalinar's right that Kaladin needs to not like lash out because he's just showing himself like to basically be as stupid as Elhokar. Like they were both kind of having temper tantrums. But like Kaladin's right in the fact that like you can't just sit around and just be a good little dark eyes because that's never gotten anyone anywhere. You need to like push a little bit at least to try and get things moving.
But the thing is, you can only push a little bit and get so far, and then like not get further than that, you know? Because he already pushed a little bit by telling Dalinar what the fuck was going on,
and it did nothing.
That's true.
Yep. He tried to do it right the first time. It didn't go well.
Apparently, he should have just gone to Adolin.
Oh, bro.
Yeah, like that'll change anything. To be honest, like it really wouldn't. Like he would agree with him, he'd sympathize with him, but like, what is Adolin gonna do in that situation?
I'm so glad Syl dies later.
Wow.
Right. Straight up dies.
I really just don't like her anymore, like at all.
Anyway, so we're on to chapter 63, A Burning World. Our epigraph is, "Now look what you've made me say. You've always been able to bring out the most
made me too. Look what you made me too.
You've always been able to bring out the most extreme in me, old friend, and I do still name you friend for all that you weary me." So who do you think the writer of this letter may be? We know that's obviously a friend of Hoid, but like, do you think it's like someone who's like as old as Hoid? Do you think it's one of the Shards? Do you think it's someone like else that he's met along his travels?
It's one of the World Hopper dudes.
Think it's just a world hopper?
It's definitely gonna be somebody who knows who Hoid actually is, kind of idea, you know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be one of those people that was in that, you know, sitting around that imaginary campfire.
Oh, you think it's like Chris or Nas?
Yeah, something like that. Probably Chris, to be honest. Isn't she the one that like record keeps and shit?
Wasn't there a group of like 3 or something that we saw like way earlier in the first book?
Well, those people were apparently sent by this letter writer, because Wit in his letter to this person says like, "Can you get those people that you sent after me to like back off or maybe actually help me for once?"
Okay.
So
who were those people?
It was a guy you guys didn't know. It was Demo from Mistborn, and it was Galadon from Elantris.
Galadon, what a wonderful.
Is that one dude that was always like coming?
He was the grumpy guy who's always like Kolo.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. It's that guy, Demo, and a guy from White Sand that you guys don't know because he was from like not the short story or like the little short thing. He was from like the full graphic novel.
You can call it a comic, you know.
So we're never gonna.
I think they specifically called it a graphic novel instead of a comic.
It is a graphic novel. It's 100% a graphic novel.
It's definitely a graphic novel because I think comics are specifically like they have a slightly different format because they're like colored and like it's a slightly different format than a graphic novel. Whereas a graphic novel is more of like an actual book and it's black and white.
Oh, so it's a manga.
Yes, mangas are graphic novels.
Yep.
Which are comics, you know.
No, it's slightly different than comics.
They're the same thing.
They're a similar format.
They're the same thing. They're just old
you
style.
are gonna create so many enemies in this.
Anyways,
Just like cartoons and anime are the same.
Audience, we are trying to explain to him the difference, but like honestly, get in the comments.
Go send do a whole thing on Patreon. There's chat rooms in there. You can rant in there to all the other viewers.
I would personally,
Yeah,
I would like an
never see
essay
it because he doesn't look at the
I would like an essay detailing the difference between all the things I've just discussed.
Yeah, exactly. Please, an essay
Just so I can like dump it in my trash folder.
with spoilers and everything, please.
Oh my god, no! It would be an essay about graphic novels versus comics.
Yeah,
But
do that and totally don't like sneakily like put spoilers or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Don't give us some spoilers, please.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
Oh no! Don't be midnight.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
no.
I do my best not to give spoilers. It's hard.
You do?
Yes,
When?
I do. Every
Since
day.
I don't know. I feel like you just like giving us spoilers.
I don't.
The amount of time that Yasmin's taking to come back is really.
She's
pissing me
dead.
off. She's not dead.
Dead. First off, even if you didn't spoil that, right? We will 100% continue to say she's not dead. There's nothing to say she died.
What if she doesn't come back for 4 books?
Then
it's still
Might as
she
well
comes
be
back.
dead.
So
Wait, do you see Darkness?
she might as well
Might
be
as well
dead.
dead to me. God.
If she did survive the way you guys said, she'd have to try and figure out a way to get back to the physical realm.
Yeah, from Shadespire. Yeah, exactly.
Which
That's why
is,
that's why I think Void's gonna help her.
and based
I
on what we've learned
wonder
from
how
Rock.
she would-
Hmm?
I wonder how she would get there. It's not like there's any type of perpendicularity.
Well, I was
shit.
saying though, if we've learned from Rock that the perpendicularity is all the way in the Horneater Peak, so that's quite a ways away.
Okay, but I really doubt there's only one here. Especially with the Oath Gates shit. Like, what if she goes there, and then Shalon pulls up, and she's like, "Huh, this place is weird," and Jasmine just comes out of the fucking gate.
Just walks
She's
out.
like,
It's like, oh hi, I've
My
returned.
lover,
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
God.
I am back.
No, I wasn't going that far, but yeah,
You're married.
something like that.
You'll see
You're
that.
married
See
to
that.
Void. Oh my God.
No, see that's how Kaladin and Adolin are going to get together because Yasmina's actually still alive, and then Shalon's gonna be like, no, I actually want to marry her, and then Kaladin and Adolin get together because Kaladin.
Kaladin, we should do it too.
Is it your headcanon? Because I agree with that.
It's a lot of people's headcanon. There's a lot of people who think that Shalon has a crush on Yasna, even though it's not specifically
does,
stated in the
though.
book. She,
I
she
wonder
definitely.
if
People have
Wait,
definitely.
even when she was a kid,
Br-
she did.
It's not written in the books, but Brandon has said, like, looking back on how he wrote, he's like, yeah, she probably has a crush on Yasna. So it's basically canon that Shalon has a crush on Yasna.
I wonder if
Because
it's
she does,
fanfiction.
though. That's the thing. There's fanfiction. 100%.
Wait, I want to
there's
switch it up, but I'm
definitely-
scared because
What do
there
you
could
mean
be
switch it up?
spoilers.
Spoilers.
Yeah, you can't search it up because there's definitely gonna be
Why not?
spoilers.
What? No.
This is gonna be weird in your search history. Can you search it up?
Yeah. Can you search it up for us?
Oh my
And then send us non-spoiler.
I want to know
No,
if
'cause
there's
I'd
actual
have-
fanfiction to it.
Oh, there definitely is. There's 100% fanfiction of it.
Yeah, but I want you to look it up and then send us,
There's also
non-spoilers.
100% fanfiction of Kaladin and Adolin.
Really?
Oh yeah,
sure-
that's a huge
make-
fan pairing.
Yeah. Make sure when you do this too. By the way, I want you to take off of your take off the safe search.
No, I'm not doing that. I don't need to see these characters in those sorts of positions. There's gonna be some weird fan art that comes up.
What do you mean? All the fan art is great.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
God.
Are you saying fans aren't allowed to make art?
They can. I just don't want to see it.
But for us, we're not allowed to see art. Come
But
on,
I have to see it to send it to you.
Yeah, guys, I want you to send. Guys, send her all of
No.
the fan art. NSFW as
Oh God, no,
hell,
thank you.
please.
It's all accepted, we appreciate every single one of
Yeah.
them.
I think
Send it
there's
to
also
Patreon.
people. I'm pretty sure there's also people who ship Kaladin and Moash.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
please.
Oh, fuck no.
Wait,
I don't like
what
him. I
about,
actually don't like him.
What about Kaladin and what's the dude that he's trying to kill?
Oh, Elokar?
There you go.
Possibly.
Great.
It's not as
Great.
common. I mostly see stuff because when I'm in the Cosmere subreddits, they're like, "Oh yeah, I wish these characters would get together," or "These are the people they definitely have a crush on each other secretly."
It's
I
probably
see-
not
I
that
see a
common
bunch of
because Elkar's dead.
I mean, yeah, it's a hate crush, but yeah, for sure, I agree.
No, it's actually Moash and Elokar, obviously. That's the real hate crush.
I keep thinking you're gonna say hate crime.
Crime. That's the hate crime.
Elokar sending Kaladin to jail is a hate crime.
Still talking shit in the jail cell is a hate crime. There's so. Oh, don't even get me started on her.
Anyway.
I know people probably love her and shit.
Oh yeah,
but I'm not
she's a fan
people.
favorite.
I'm not people.
Still is a fan favorite.
Oh yeah.
Why is she a fan favorite?
She dies.
So annoying.
People also ship Syl and Kaladin.
Absolutely not. That's like a
Whoa.
Oh,
child.
I know,
Whoa.
right? I am not a fan of that pairing.
Damn, this is a whole Mr. Beast scenario out here.
Anyways, so we switch back to Shalon's point of view, and she speaks to Adolin via Spanreed. She's hiding in an illusion, watching the people below. She lies to Adolin that
That's so funny because it's like them texting each other.
I know, right? Except he has to have someone write out stuff for him, so he's got like an artist in there typing for him.
Yeah, like what, bro? You know how oh, I'm just thinking about how nasty that actually would be.
The
Oh,
poor
you're-
artist, like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, I don't want to be sending your sexting to each other. Like what the hell? Like you guys are like flirting, and I have to be the one to basically do it.
It's probably like some like 70-year-old old guy who's just like, please let me die.
Let me kill myself, please. Oh my god.
Kill me.
Anyway, so she lies to Adolin that she's working on stuff for Sabarial. And
Do you
Shallan
think the artist knows that she's lying?
probably not.
Fully convinced the artists have their own little fucking network of like stuff.
I mean, they're
They're
men that can
evil.
read. That's so suspicious. You can't trust a man that can read.
You can't
Yeah,
trust
that's
a
a man.
religious man.
I
That's
was gonna
true.
say, you can't trust a man of God, but
So Shallan, I mean, we saw what happened with Cabsol. He was
Exactly.
supposedly a man
Man
of
of
God.
exactly.
You just can't trust their jam.
Never mind, let me not say that before I start a wildfire.
Oh,
Wildfire? I want to see the wildfire. Please start the wildfire.
That's fine.
Shallan keeps watch of any people going near a tree that she thinks is likely older than the war camps, seeing if anyone tries to take what is hidden there. Adolin mentions that he has an ardent scribing for him, and Shallan wonders if he thinks she would be jealous if he had a woman scribing for him instead. However, it did seem like the women of the
No.
court were more jealous than she usually was. Shallan also asked about Dalinar, to which Adolin replies that he seems much better now. So yeah, what did you think about Adolin writing to Shallan from prison? As we learn later.
Wait, it was from prison.
It's from prison!
I need
He's-
to put that together.
Yeah, he's like bored in prison, so he's like, let me write to you. I've got nothing better to do.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that.
That's
That's
why they're not-
hilarious.
Yeah, that's why instead of hanging out, he's writing to her.
Yeah, that's
And then
hilarious.
there's Paladin,
Oh
who
my
had
God.
nothing to do but lay down.
I mean, he's got Sel to talk to.
Still was.
No, he doesn't. She left.
Yeah.
She's there, just invisible.
No,
She
he
left
literally
him.
tried talking to her and she didn't respond.
She left him.
Yeah, so it's just like
Bad
in
girlfriend.
prison, being like, ugh, this sucks. Let me talk to Shallan.
Yeah, I need an ardent in here to, text my girlfriend, please.
Somebody cushion my seat.
Oh my god.
I love that you guys didn't put that together, that's why he's writing to her.
No idea. I was like, what? Oh,
Crazy how it takes, jail to make him write to her.
Yeah, because he's saying that his father's just getting better, and we know that as soon as Dalinar gets better, he goes to see Kaladin in the jail cell. So, yeah, it's about the same time.
Wait, do we know that he's been there the whole time? Or is it just his word that says, yeah, I've been literally in this jail cell since you...
I think the Dark-Eyed Guard says that, Adolin was there, and, Kaladin's like, oh, I remember there was this commotion that happened, later in the day when I got jailed. And he's like, that must have been Adolin. I think probably Bridgeport would tell him if Adolin had been there the whole time as well. So it's probably true, especially because he's also like, oh yeah, Adolin's beard's grown out a lot like mine has. So it's probably safe to say he was there for the whole 2-3 weeks that Kaladin was there.
Ew. They have beards? Disgusting.
Shallan notes that she'd been waiting here for hours, and she had wanted to see Mraize's people placing the instructions that were to be left for her. However, she realizes that they are likely waiting to see her pick up the instructions. So
I just started thinking. I just started thinking about that. Really, though, would he even have sent her messages if he wasn't imprisoned?
That's what I'm saying!
I don't think so. Because, I think normally they would...
hanging out with people.
Yeah, normally he would have been, doing things or probably meeting up with her for a date. But now he's like, I haven't seen you for 2 weeks. We should talk.
Or he would have been meeting up with a different person to date.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because you never know. What I'm saying is, at this point, the world itself is trying to keep him from fucking other people.
Maybe that's the real reason he went to jail. He's like, I gotta keep myself in
Horny jail!
Horny jail, 100% darkness. Going to horny jail.
But anyway, so Shallan instructs Pattern to check the rooms in the building she is on top of, checking for people watching the tree like she is. Adolin writes to her that she should be able to come out on a scouting mission with him, as Dalinar wants to send out some scouting missions before they head off towards the center of the Shadowed Plains. Shallan is a little disappointed that she'll only be able to see a harvested chrysalis, though. Pattern then returns, stating that the masked woman is just one floor down. Shallan writes goodbye to Adolin before removing her illusion and attaching a walking version of Vale to Pattern. Shallan instructs Pattern to go to the tree and make the fronds retract before heading into an alleyway. She then puts on a Veil illusion on herself and goes down to hide near the room the masked woman is in. Once the woman leaves...
so many illusions in one time. At one time.
Yep.
I'm surprised she's not oh wait, but she doesn't need to. I was gonna say, I'm surprised she's not scarfing down food right now.
Yeah, she doesn't need to. That's only a lift.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Lift
That's
is special.
One random
What about
fucking
put down?
person.
Uh,
I
what's-
think Lift is dead. So
I see. Once the woman leaves the room, Shallan speaks. So what do you think about Shallan's plan to distract the woman?
great idea, honestly, and it worked. So I found it more hilarious when she was like, "Your boss," and I was like, "There's no way this woman is is like under that dude."
Yeah, she's like, excuse you, you mean my student?
Yeah, I was like, "There's no way this specific person is underneath this dude." Like,
And
there's
Masked
no way.
Woman's in charge.
Yeah.
The masked woman can get it.
Wait, do we have a picture of her?
I can get you one.
Yeah, please.
Uh,
Like with her mask,
Starlight
obviously, because we never see that.
Oh,
So
yeah,
there's a
you
picture
wouldn't-
of her like on a pike.
Eato.
Yeah, find us a picture of her on a pike, 100%.
Off with her head.
Off with her head? We're killing her now? Yay.
Why not?
Is a picture
Most of the people are gonna die in the
Eato.
desolation anyway.
Is that really what the hell she looks like? What?
I believe so.
That is not what I expected. I was
What
expecting
in
like.
the fuck?
1 second, let's see if I can
This is
find that.
another-
picture.
I was expecting something like.
Yeah, no, I did not expect that. I was thinking something.
Okay, I
like
expected that. Wait, that's a mask? Why is it the same skin tone
Yeah.
as her thing?
Well, she
That's a
says that
kid.
remember, she thinks for a very brief second that she's like a Parshendi or something before she's like, oh no, that's just a mask.
when they were talking about her, I swear to God, I thought it was this person. 1 second.
I thought it was a full face mask, but apparently I was
Yeah.
wrong.
I was
I always
thinking
am-
something like.
I always
Yes,
imagine
You
it
guys
was a
thought it
full
was the
face
full.
mask.
I thought it was the
Yeah.
reverse. I thought it covered her mouth.
Yeah, I thought it was like that.
Yeah, I thought
The mask like
I
that.
also
was
thought
like,
it was more of a
what?
full face mask.
I was like, what?
Because it should be based off. I guess maybe are they not full face masks? Because this is we get more stuff about masks in these mask things in a different book.
It was gonna be like a bottom half of the face mask.
I
really-
found it. I found it more hilarious that she was like, when they went to go like take her mask, she was like, "If you take my mask, I will kill you." I was like, "Whoa, she probably could do it too."
If you take off my mask, I will kill you. You'll be dead.
I mean, that doesn't even hide anything. Like what? Wait, because she's hiding her cheekbones. Nobody knows who she is.
I thought it was gonna be something like this, Loki.
Yeah, there you
Like
go.
the mask.
No, I definitely knew it covered like the top half of her face. I just thought it was more of a full face mask. I always pictured it as more of a full face mask. But I think I'm thinking of something else that comes up in a different book.
Love the spoilers.
It's really not a spoiler. That gives you no information.
No, we
I mean,
clearly know that.
there's a full face mask in another book. Yeah,
We know that Red Herring puts on a face mask and goes like a vigilante.
Oh yeah, for sure.
after he learns from Kaladin, for sure.
Anyway, so Shallan tells that woman that she sent a double and that she had someone watching out for someone watching the tree in the windows. The woman admits,
That's a double.
I mean, Pattern kind of was a double for her.
I mean, yeah, the way she skirts around all of this is hilarious. To me.
Yeah. The woman admits
It's a
that
lie. That's not really a lie.
Yeah,
the nice thing is because of how secretive they all are, she can kind of be super like secretive about it, and they won't like extra question her. Like they're fine with her not answering.
Well, it's the fact that they also probably do dumb shit like that in order to like sneak around, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty normal for people to do."
Yeah. But yeah, so Shallan tells the woman that she sent a double and that she has someone watching the windows. The woman admits that she left the note for her before even telling her of it, when Shallan states that she'd been wanting to watch them place it. Shallan also figures out that the woman was here to watch her complete her task this time around, and Shallan suggests that they go on the task together since she already knows the woman is here. The woman also introduces herself as Iatil, or Eatil, not really sure which is a name Shallan doesn't recognize. The woman isn't surprised that Shallan hadn't heard a name like hers before. Eatil also mentions that there is a person coming to Dalinar's war camp that they need to look into, that they are unsure of Dalinar's allegiances and whether he knew things that his brother had known. So what did you think of Eatil and her being like, yeah, you wouldn't know a name like mine? Do you think that's just because it's a fake name, or do you think she's a world hopper?
Yeah.
Well,
she's a world hopper, but,
considering-
that's only because I think that the Ghost Bloods are headed by like Kelsier or something. Somebody. I just want Kelsier to be.
I know, you just want
But-
Kelsier back.
No,
But-
it's Spook. The
It's
leader of the
Spook!
Ghost-
Oh yeah, that would work really cool too. I like that idea.
It's the
Darkness, that's a
Ghost
great
Blood
idea.
King.
Great idea, Darkness. I like that one better.
Um,
Go with
I think so. Withers for a second. Oh,
Or there's original.
I forgot what I was to say. I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay, don't do it anymore then.
Wait, repeat like the very beginning of this.
What was
My
the
question was, what did you think about Eatil being like, oh yeah, you wouldn't know my name?
Oh, okay. So, her name is like not symmetrical at all, right? According to the
Nowhere
and
close, yeah.
yeah. She's
But either is like
well,
Kaladin and stuff. Like a Dark Eyes don't have really like symmetrical names either. It's mainly Light Eyes that do.
Okay, but it doesn't give the same vibe as all the other names that we've heard.
Mhm.
Maybe it's a light eye thing.
That's what I was saying. Do you think she's a world hopper, or do you think she's just like using a
She's
fake
world
name?
hopper.
I think both, honestly.
It could be both. Yeah, she could be using a fake name and she's a world hopper. Because yeah, considering the Ghostbloods definitely seem like a world hopper organization, and she's like the head of at least this section of them and everything.
I
Like,
know who the fucking leader is.
do you?
It's the leader.
Yeah.
Who's the leader?
It's Mob.
Ah, it's Mav. Nice.
I mean, Ray says there's a guy named Master Thydakar.
Master Thighs.
Thydakar.
Thighs.
Yeah. I will say the image the Ghostbloods use as their like tattoo is a hint, but it's a very hard to figure
Okay,
out
what are we?
hint.
Okay,
So
okay.
who's
show
in
it.
charge?
Show it then.
I showed
Oh,
you. It's the
what?
3 intersecting triangles.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
So far,
Yeah,
I can find it again. It's technically a hint.
Why the fuck is Pirulin here?
Because Mario was eating it one day.
Why is Fushigi here?
Yeah, this is the Ghostblood symbol. So it's
Oh yeah.
technically a hint, but it's very hard to figure out without being told. I feel like.
No, I definitely know what it is.
What is it?
What is it? Yeah. Go on, Darkness.
It's something.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
One would assume it's something.
Would we know at this point if we figured it out? Like, if we do we have all the stuff to figure it out?
You technically do, but as I said, it's very hard to figure out. We'll
Right,
get
right.
told, I think, either later in this book or the next book. I think there's like a hint as to
Now I'm gonna think
more information
all
about it.
This is making me angry because I want to figure it out.
Anyways, we're gonna move on.
No,
So
no,
at this point, what did you think the person that was coming to Downers War Camp was that they were looking for? This is before they say it's like a madman. Did you have any thoughts when you first read this about who they were looking for?
No, not at all. Honestly.
Me neither. Honestly, I was like, okay, they're looking for someone.
So we then skip forward in time to Shalon reading through Mraize's instructions as she and Eotil ride in a palanquin to Downar's war camp. It's mentioned that the man who had come to Downar's war camp was a madman that Borden, one of Downar's trusted servants the Ghostbloods thinks was left in Alethkar to spy on Ellikar's wife, had brought. Shalon then calls Eotil Mraize's student, but Eotil replies that Mraize is actually her student. Shalon asks questions, but Eotil doesn't really answer them, so Shalon doesn't pry further. Why do you think Dalinar would have been spying on Ellikar's wife?
Who was spying on whose wife?
So the Ghostbloods think that Borden was left in Alethkar to be a spy for Dalinar on Ellikar's wife, who's currently like in charge of the country while they're at war.
Well, she's in charge of the country.
Think he's just keeping an eye on things in general?
More like they're
Trying to figure
readying
this out.
themselves.
I'm gonna figure this out before you can tell me. I'm doing this.
The freaking diamond thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out too. I'm going through like all the stuff back from before.
Okay, I'm gonna figure it out. Go on. I didn't hear the question though because I was.
I said, why do you think Dalinar would have been spying on Ellikar's wife, like the Ghostbloods think he was?
Dalinar on whose wife?
Ellikar's.
Who's Ellicar?
Ellikar's the king.
The king.
He has that child has a wife.
He's like 32, and yes, he has a wife.
He's a fucking child.
Yeah, remember he has a fucking son too. He has like a toddler son. Yeah, because in the epigraph, in the prologue of this book, Yasna was thinking of assassinating his wife. Remember?
No.
Yeah, she had this assassin who she was gonna get to kill Ellikar's wife, who had apparently had Zeth before the Parshendi did, and then she was like, actually, I don't want you to assassinate her just yet. I'll have you just keep an eye on things.
At all. Wow.
Her name is like Aesudan or something like that. The wife.
What? Huh? That's a name. Holy shit.
I think it's something like that.
Megalodon.
Know it on.
Know it all.
Yeah, I'm sure she does.
Anyways, also, what do you think about the fact that Eotil is actually the one in charge and not Mraize? You guys said you weren't so really surprised when you talked about it earlier.
No, not at all. Not the way she holds herself. It definitely doesn't seem like she'd be underneath anybody.
Not with that mask.
Yeah, she's not under anybody.
So Eotil does mention her mask, though, saying that her mask hides her emotions. She doesn't understand people who go around showing their faces like the people here. She then asks if Shalon is the hunter or the prey, but Shalon replies that she is neither. They then get to the front of the line to Dalinar's war camp, and Shalon peeks her head out and removes part of her illusion so that they can get through the war camp, but without Eotil seeing her transformation. She also has Pattern make a noise on the other side of the carriage to distract Eotil, so she has time to put her illusion back on once her head is back inside the carriage. Eotil guesses that Shalon had bribed some of Dalinar's guards, although she notes that it's quite difficult, but Shalon doesn't give a response. They arrive at a building full of Ardents with people moving about. Eatel mentions how today is a day that anyone can come for healing or guidance, and the amount of people and confusion makes it easier to sneak in to try to get to the madman, although it still won't be easy. Shallan decides to claim that Eatel is her sister, who had potentially been taken over by Voidbringers. She refuses to remove her mask. Eatel reluctantly plays along.
The fact that she played along, I was like, what? Crazy.
Yeah, she apparently was like, fine, I guess I'll play along. Well, I mean, she decided to go with Shallan instead of just following her, so she's like, I'll play along. I'm just going to see what she does.
She got caught. First off, she got caught. Okay? She had no choice.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, this woman caught me. Like,
Well, yeah, but Shallan technically still says, like, we could go together, or you can just follow me, but I know you're there.
exactly. She got caught, so she's like, all right, well, I guess.
Yeah.
No need to do that anymore.
Yeah, she plays along. So what did you think, Darkness, about Shallan's plan to get in to see the madman?
Well, I definitely did not expect who it was, but
Yeah, we'll get there. But yeah, Eatel's probably like, what was your plan if I wasn't here? But her plan probably was just like, I'll just disguise myself as an Ardent like I do later. And just go in. So we skip forward a bit to Shallan sitting in one of the monastery rooms while she watches Eatel tell the Ardents that if they remove her mask, she will have to kill them, which Shallan does not think is part of her act. Shallan uses this time to finish a drawing as one of the Ardents before sneaking off and using her light weaving to look like the Ardent as she walks down the halls. She tells Pattern to go find the madman, who Moraes had given her a sketch of with the instructions, but he already knows where the man is as he had looked around while Shallan was drawing. He also mentions a woman who was painting excrement onto her walls, which is lovely.
I wonder who that could be. I don't know. It's not like we met that person.
Shallan finds her way into the room to see a man with dark Makabaki skin, ragged hair, and muscular arms. He's whispering to himself, but Shallan can't make out what he's saying. She gets closer, removing her illusion, and hears him muttering about the desolation, and he calls himself Talanel Ilin, Stone Sinew. Talanel Ilin. Shallan notes that he seems to think he is one of the heralds, but she believes this to be a lie, as many madmen consider themselves to be other people. She also doesn't think that Dalinar would have one of the heralds locked up. Little does she know.
I figured it out. I think I figured it out. Wait, I think I figured it out. I'm going based off of my assumptions.
Okay.
Okay. I have no I really want it to be fucking Kelsier. I really do. Right, that's the person. Whatever. It looks like a flower. And the only thing I can think of that would link that to Kelsier is his wife.
Mm.
And like that picture she had that he fucking continued to say, oh, like this thing's never been seen, blah blah blah, like the flower, the picture or whatever. But it looks like a fucking flower when I think about it, because the center is like the thing, and then the big things are the petals.
I can see that.
Yeah, so I'm thinking it could be the flower. I have to go back and see if they actually explain what the flower looked like. But it's the only thing I can think of.
We got a picture of the drawing, right? That was a while back.
Did we?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay. I don't remember. I'm not gonna go scroll through our fucking pictures. But that's what it feels like to me. But like I said, this is just going based off of me wanting Kelsier to be a part of this again.
Huh.
I'm not going to confirm or deny anything, but I will say, if you want a picture of the flower, here is a picture of Mistborn Secret History's cover, when it's a separate book.
I'm waiting. Yeah, see? It's a flower. I mean, okay, well, where are the other petals, actually? I don't know. It's got 6 petals, and there's only 3.
No, those are 3 leaves. There's 3 leaves and 3 petals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah, it looks just like it. It's kind of cool.
That is Mare's flower.
Which...
That's her name!
It would make sense if Spook is there, because this is
it could be Spook too, you're right!
Yeah.
Oh my god, it could be Spook.
I will say that I believe specifically when Sazed remade the world, he put a bunch of these flowers like in that field that they kind of like came out in, and where Vin and Ellen's bodies were when they were remade. They were in like a field of the flowers.
I forgot about that, yeah.
Which he had time to do that, but not save the other bitches? Okay.
How could he just not save people? Like, god damn. Bring Kelsier back, god damn. Just give him a different body, of course, but, bring him back.
Yeah, so it does.
But
yeah, the pictures do look similar, so there is a possibility that is related to Mistborn in some way. The ghost.
How big of a possibility?
Pretty big possibility, apparently, the way she's saying it. But
I won't say who, but yeah, it definitely looks like it's related to Mistborn. Based on the information you guys have, the fact that Mythic put it together, it is related to Mistborn. It is supposed to be the
Spook.
flower.
That's so
It could
cool.
be Spook, it could be Kelsier, it could be anyone that's still alive.
I want it to be Kelsey.
If it's
I want it to
Spook
be
or Kelsier, I don't want it.
If it's what? If it's Spook or Kelsey, you don't want it?
If it's not,
Oh, if it's not. I definitely also heard if it's Spook or Kelsier,
Yeah,
you
if
don't
it's
want
Spook
it
or
to
Kelsey, I was like, wait, what? Ah, that's so cool, though. Like, that was just me being like, I want Kelsey to be a part of this.
It is related to Mistborn, that's all I'm saying.
Yay! It's the flower.
Because you
I
did
was
figure it out.
right
I am giving you that as a confirmation because you figured it
Yay.
out. And because you
Yay.
would have been able to see that cover. That's not a spoiler, because we've read that story.
we have.
I mean,
Yeah, Secret
yeah.
History within the Arcanum Unbounded. It's also, you can buy it as a separate
Oh.
book. So
Yeah,
that's the cover if you buy it as a separate book.
I just thought about it because, like, you know, I want Kelsey to be a part of this.
That's the one where Kelsier gets like freaky with Hoyd, right?
Yeah. That's Kelsier's story about what happens to him after he dies.
Oh, yeah. He gets freaky with Hoyd, 100%.
Where Hoyd punches the shit out of Kelsier.
For good reason, too.
Well,
Alright. Back to Stormlight.
Back to, well, I mean, it's
Back to
technically
Shalon.
Shalon.
Yeah.
back
Back to Shalon. Shalon finds her way into the we described him. Shalon notes that he seems to think he is one of the heralds, but she believes that to be a lie. Many men consider themselves to be other people. She also doesn't think that Downer would have one of the heralds locked up. She writes down his words, not believing he's...
Okay.
Yeah, she writes down his words and thinks that heralds apparently glow like the sun, wield honor blades, and speak with the voice of 1,000 trumpets. So what do you think about the confirmation that the honor blades are the blades of the heralds? Because Darkness has, I think, guessed that.
Yeah, I was like,
This
did
is the-
somebody here get that? 100%.
Yeah, Darkness guessed that. It is confirmed that the heralds had special shard blades called honor blades.
Because they are very honorable people, I'm sure.
And I just want to kind of give a little, because it takes us so long to read through these, so it's hard for you guys to remember. I want to also give another little hint from Yasna's prologue, where she runs into those two guys, one of which is the guy named Darkness, that Liv calls Darkness in the book, and him
Doesn't, she says she turns into darkness, and I swear to God, I was like, oh my God, she turned into darkness. You
No.
know?
She runs into Darkness in like the hallway of the palace that her dad's dead.
No, you're right. You're right, Mythic.
Yeah.
So
It's where she like literally
Turns into, like,
herself
dark.
all
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah, but
So-
like she
It's
said, I
Shalon,
turned myself into
Shalon.
darkness. Yeah, she says, I turned myself into darkness, and I was like, wait, what?
Oh, Shalon does, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, huh?
Also, some motherfucker called me heavy in this book. Where the fuck? We just got over that.
The heavy Darkness.
Yep, heavy darkness. I mean, but darkness. It's true, though.
I think Calvin
Okay.
says that. But anyways, what I was saying is Yasna in the prologue runs into Darkness and another guy who are talking, and they kind of like cut up their conversation when Yasna shows up. But they're talking about how we know that Zeth potentially has an honor blade, and she runs into two guys who seem to be talking about Zeth, who says, this abomination has my lord's own blade, is what they're talking about. So these guys apparently know about the honor blades, including Darkness.
Why would that? Yeah, why would that be a shock, though? To be honest.
I'm just connecting some dots because it's been a while.
Uh,
Anyways,
is that what you're doing? You're connecting
Yes.
dots.
Yes.
Dots.
Also, were you guys surprised to find out that the madman was Taln, or Telenalat Elin?
Yes,
No.
You,
I mean, kind of, but at the same time, no, not really.
I thought it was gonna be a crazy.
no,
Well,
just an insane herald.
considering he
Kind
could
of
be
is.
crazy. So.
Kind of is a crazy.
He's gone through 4,500 years of torture.
What if it was a Hoed?
Oh my God.
They probably have a Hoed in there.
I mean, that's basically what he is. He's repeating a mantra, and he's like gone through tons of pain. He basically is a Hoed.
He's a Hoed.
Ed.
So Shalon then makes to leave the room, putting back on the illusion of the Ardent. However, suddenly the madman cries out as he needs to shove Shalon out of her illusion and against the wall. He mutters about how Ishar founded the Knights desolations ago, and that they were no longer just talk. He then goes back to the bed and curls up in a ball as Shalon's shardblade falls into her hand. She thinks of it as Mother's soul and associates for a bit before Pattern asks if she is mad. She says yes and peeks out into the
Are you
hallway to
mad?
escape, but people are coming towards the room. One of the people was
Oh,
High
I
Lord
thought that
Amram.
So funny. I found that so funny because it was like she had just explained to Pattern what mad meant.
Yeah.
Are you mad?
Yes, what did you think about Talon's reaction to Shalon using Stormlight?
I was trying to figure out who the fuck Tom is.
Talon is the shortened version of Talena
Yeah,
last
yeah,
name.
yeah.
Tom.
It was
Tone.
interesting, especially when the whole. I'm pretty sure she whipped out the Shy Blades too, right?
Yeah,
And then
when he shoves her against the wall, she summons her shard blade, but like he like leaves her before she like has a chance to try and use it on him. So she's like, oh, I guess I
yeah,
don't need it.
and then he's like, "Oh, the freaking founders or whatever."
Yeah, he says
That one
Ishar
dude.
founded the Knights Radiant. Ishar is one of the other heralds. So he's like
Ishar Blade.
Eat shart. Yeah.
Ishar.
Eat shart. Yeah.
Ishar
Eat shart in the shark plate.
Ishar in the Shy Blade.
Oh, he's in the shark plate.
Shy Blade, ooh la la.
Ooh, ha, ha, ha.
But yeah, so what do you guys think about his reaction though? Of like, it kind of like snapped him out of his trance for a second. And he's obviously lost track of time because he's like, has he founded them already? Oh yes, he founded the Knights Radiant like desolations ago, like fucking ages ago. He's all confused.
He's been tortured for fucking ever. So
Yo.
that's
And then we get chapter 64, Treasures. And the epigraph is, yes, I'm disappointed. Perpetually, as you put it. I really didn't have a question for this. There wasn't really much information in that epigraph.
Nice.
I was like, I don't know what to say here. So we
That's us whenever we read one.
so we switch back to Kaladin's point of view as he compares himself to the white spine that had been in the cage. He finds himself slipping back into the mindset of the wretch. Suddenly he shouts and throws himself up off the bench that he was sitting on. He begins pacing the room. He tries to breathe in the stormlight of a lamp down the hall, but he can't. He prays to the Almighty in his head that he doesn't go back to what he was before. Eventually he is able to take in the stormlight, but it seems to resist before going into him. Syl speaks, appearing between two of the metal bars, and states that there is darkness within him. Kaladin replies that he just needs to get out of this cage. Syl then giggles, childlike, as she goes off to look at a small crumling on the ground nearby. He eventually eats, and when a guard comes into the hallway, he seems confused by the dun sphere in the lamp. So what did you think about Kaladin's declining mental health?
It's completely valid.
100%.
Also, what did you think about Syl's reactions here in this part?
Syl is dying, and I hope she dies. No offense to anyone that likes her, but I don't.
Yeah, so Syl is acting a lot like she used to. Like she's not as serious here as she used to be.
Yep.
She's getting easily distracted.
I wonder why.
Kaladin seems to think this is a good thing. He's like, oh, it's just Syl being Syl.
It is, As long as he doesn't realize he's killing her, we're good.
What do you think about the fact that the stormlight resisted him?
Well, his powers are dying with Syl.
What did you think, Mythic, reading that the stormlight resisted him?
I agree. I mean, she still gives him the power, so if she's dying, then, he would probably lose his powers.
So we switch back to Shallan's point of view. She quickly lightweaves herself into darkness in the corner of the room.
See?
She became
Why?
darkness. You're just in
Why
there.
am I getting so many mentions in these chapters?
I know, right? You're
A person named Darkness.
Luckily, the madman doesn't react to her using Stormlight this time. Emram enters the room with an Ardent, and Shallan feels some hatred for him for killing her brother, although she also thinks that Helleran had abandoned them, as Blot had said. She also wonders why Helleran had been trying to kill Amram, as she had pieced together that Amram had taken the Shardblade from a man trying to kill him. The ardent Borden seems to want to leave quickly, but Amram kneels next to the madman and calls him Great Prince. He calls the man beautiful and says that he and Gavilar had done it. He asks about a cache of Shardblades that the man supposedly spoke to Borden about. Borden replies that they could be here days before the man speaks of it again. Amram then encourages Borden to take him to the place the madman spoke of, so the others don't find these treasures. So what did you think about Amram seeming to know who Talon was?
I mean, it kind of shocked me he showed up, to be honest. But
Wait, who knew? Who knew?
Amram seemed to know
Okay,
that
yeah,
Talon
yeah.
was a herald. He calls him Great Prince, and he's like, "You're so beautiful. We've done it."
Eee.
But yeah, so what did you think about Amram seeming to imply that a goal of his and Gavilar's was completed? So he says, "Gavilar, we've done it."
the man's shady as it is, so.
Well, he wants to find the freaking swords, right?
Well, he says that there was supposedly a treasure they found, but just seeing town, he's like, "We've done it." And he's like, "Tell me
I
about the
mean-
treasure of Shardblades."
Yeah, if he's the key for it, then... And that's why people probably want to stop it, because whatever it is they're trying to obtain, gonna fuck up the world.
Hmm.
And they might not even be trying to do it to fuck up the world.
Do you think Amram just wants, he's just being greedy, and he's gonna,
Well, maybe less that, because we don't know who he's working with or for, so he might not even be that knowledgeable on what they, the top person wants.
mm-hmm.
True.
So once Amram and Borden had left, Shalon disguises herself as Vale again before leaving the room to find Eotil. She apologizes to the Ardents, stating she got lost, and then hugs Eotil goodbye. She whispers to Eotil, asking for confirmation that Eotil could escape, and then gives her the wood she wrote from the man, before telling her of Amram being there and his discussions with Borden. Eotil asks who she is, as Shalon replies that she is a person who seeks truth. Shalon then leaves, and that night she sends a thorough report to Mraize via Spanreed. She also promises to make drawings of the man Amram, and Borden for good measure. Mraize responds that Shalon is officially part of the Ghostbloods, meaning that the members will no longer try to kill her. She also needs to get a tattoo somewhere on her person, of which she will send her a drawing. So what do you think about Shalon being a full member of the Ghostbloods now?
I mean, I think it was a terrible idea because
Great.
now she's going to brand herself. But here's the thing: I thought about the fact that maybe she doesn't have to brand herself. Maybe she just makes a
an illusion.
She could just add like the image of the Ghostblood image to part of her veil illusion.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Like she could just do that instead. Then she wouldn't have to get an actual tattoo. Because if she gets an actual tattoo, wouldn't she just be illusioning over it anyways?
Yeah, probably.
Like, no, I mean,
Yeah, there's not really much point unless the Ghostbloods find out that Vale is Shalon. Because it's going to be weird if someone notices that Shalon has a Ghostblood tattoo.
but I feel like she's gonna be stupid and she's gonna put it like on her, but try to like hide it, conceal it, and then somebody's gonna fucking find out. Yeah.
I see.
Maybe it'll be the her soon-to-be husband.
Mm.
They're having coitus and just randomly shows this tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awkward. So we move on to chapter 65, The One Who Deserves It. And first of all, we got an image of Chull's metamorphosis.
That looks cool, the middle one.
The middle one. I think that's what like a regular Chull looks like. That's what like you would expect to see pulling all the carriages and stuff, like the slave wagon.
They're kind of cute. Wait, how big are they?
Huge. Look at the person that's standing next to it.
I want one.
They are quite large. And it seemed like the legs are about the height of a person. You see where they bend at like knee part.
Yeah.
Probably like 6 feet. So this chapter is 1.5 years ago. We move to Pashalon's point of view as she reads a book by Yasna about how people want to define a space for women instead of allowing women to each choose a place for themselves. There were guards in the hallway of the manor, and Shalon thinks they are to make sure that Melise doesn't flee, although she also thinks that Melise could be dead after Father's outburst. She thinks that Yasna's book implies that women always have a choice in what they can be, but sometimes you are in a spot like Shalon where you are just surviving. What do you think about the faults in Yasna's writing that Shalon is pointing out?
Hey man, she's human.
What's the question?
What do you think about the faults in Yasna's writings that Shalon is pointing out? About like, Yasna's like, women should be able to make their own choices about where they are in life, and Shalon's like, not everyone gets a choice.
Well, I mean, technically she's not wrong though. Like, if they should, doesn't mean that they can.
Yeah, I think Shalon's just kind of like, it feels like Yasna's writing from a place of privilege, where like, if women could do whatever they wanted, Yasna would have that choice, but Shalon would probably still be stuck in a similar situation.
Definitely writing from a place of privilege.
Yep. I mean, she's a princess, Yasna, so... So Shalon makes her way out of her room, nervously moving past the guards as she says that Father will need her. She is thankful to hear Melise weeping quietly from Father's rooms, knowing now that she is still alive. She then goes towards the feast hall where her father sits with 2 raging fires in the fireplaces. She sneaks into the kitchen and makes him some warmed spice wine and brings it back out to him. Father complains about no one listening to him, and Shalon replies that she will talk to her brothers. She then leaves as Father speaks about being glad that he killed the Axehound pups, as they were all runts. So what do you think about Shalon going to comfort her father?
Sleaze bag.
This girl is a masochist. There ain't no way.
So Shalon goes out to Balat and tells him that he needs to leave with Melise and Aelita as Father is getting worse. She asks if he can meet up with Helleran, and he says he can't, but he worries about Father catching him while he tries to find their brother. Shalon just says that they'll find a way to contact him, and that he can plan his escape when their father is away doing business. Vlad agrees with the plan. Shalon then goes back inside, ignoring Father, who is still complaining, and gets some supplies before going upstairs to see Melise. The guards stop her, but she says she is allowed to speak to Melise, and one of the guards has to check with her father to confirm before letting her in. Shalon ignores the blinding light from the safe behind the painting and goes to her injured stepmother, beginning to bandage her wounds. Shalon tells Melise that she is going to leave with Balat to be with Helleran, who's a good man and will take them in. Melise asks if Father will finally hate Shalon if he has no one else to hate, especially since Shalon is the one who actually deserves it. Shalon just says maybe before
That's the
leaving
only
the
part
room.
that I hated. That's the only part when I hated her. I was like,
Mm.
really?
Yeah, one of my questions is, why do you think Melise thinks that Shallan is the one that deserves to be hated?
She's not wrong. She does deserve to be hated, but
To be fair, like the dad is choosing her over everyone around him.
Yeah, she's also a grown woman telling like a 16-year-old like, you deserve to be
deserve to
hated by
die.
your dad,
You
unlike
deserve
the
to
rest
die.
of us.
Which is completely valid.
I don't know if that's completely valid to tell like a child that they deserve to be hated.
You're telling me that you're one of those people that like to children. Disgusting.
Not really. Anyways, what do you think about Shallan helping Black come up with a plan for him and their stepmother to escape?
Good idea, to be honest.
Who's escaping?
Shallan wants Balat and their stepmom to escape.
Oh, right.
She's like, father keeps beating Melise way too much, so I'm gonna like help her escape with Balat.
She can handle it. The plan, not the beating.
Damn, I was gonna say that's pretty dark for you, Darkness.
No, I meant like
Darkness.
she can like work out a plan and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, Melise probably has enough like education and stuff that she could probably make money as well. Because I think that was the main thing is they're like, if we leave, we have none of father's like wealth to help us, so like we got to be able to make money on our own.
I'll find a sugar daddy.
Yeah, she just goes to
But
marry
at
some
least-
other
At
guy.
least one of them could. Yeah, at least one. At least one of them could definitely do so.
And then we get our final chapter, chapter 66, Storm Blessings. And our epigraph is, it is not the destruction we have wrought enough. The worlds you now tread bear the touch and design of Adonasium. Our interference so far has brought nothing but pain. So what do you think the writer means about the destruction they and Hoyd have brought?
The destruction who brought?
So the
And
writers...
Hoyd.
Yeah, so the writer says that whoever the writer is and Hoyd, they say, is not the destruction we have wrought enough. Our interference so far has brought nothing but pain. So this person's basically telling, like, Hoyd, like, we need to stop interfering because, like, we're only bringing destruction and pain.
Another
Maybe that's
person
Hoyd's
who
point.
came
We
from
literally don't
his.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's another person who came from his,
From
world.
Yolan?
Yeah, whatever that fuck that place is called. Yeah.
Yolan. So yeah, you think this person's from Yolan and you think they did something?
Yep. Something like that.
What do you think, Darkness?
What if it's? I mean, it could be. He did say there was another person that was like,
I mean, he also
his
said
age
people
or
were
whatever.
hunting him, so
right?
So you guys talked over each other. What was that?
We
Whatever.
did find out there was another person his age, right?
Yeah, so Hoyd states that like because Evelyn jokes that Hoyd should go flirt with someone his own age, and Hoyd's like, that's very hard to find, but there's only one other person here and they don't like me very much. And I think I told you guys that he's referring to the vessel of cultivation. And he says there's only one other person as old as I am here on this planet, or only one other woman or something like that.
What if it's an X vessel? Do vessels die when they get extracted?
As far as we've seen, the only way to stop a vessel from being a shard is to kill them.
What if they give away the power though? I'm sure they can.
Well, Vin died when the power left her, and Preservation also died when the power left him. And as far as we know, we've been told that the vessels who held Dominion and Devotion are dead. And I believe the Vessel of Ambition's dead, and that's another shard that's shattered. So I don't believe
Did
in any of the
Kelsier-
books that you guys or I have seen we have not seen anyone survive being a vessel. Kelsier is a cognitive shadow, so I wonder if they could be cognitive shadows. Because I think Vin had a choice to stay as a cognitive shadow with Kelsier, and she chose not to. Because we see that in Mistborn Secret History.
Wait,
I think-
why did Vin have a choice to do that and not what's his name?
Elend? Elend also did.
Yeah.
Kelsier tries to tell Vin, like, hey, you should stay with me. I mean, it was mostly, I think, because Vin held the power of preservation, so she, like, definitely could have. Ellen would have had to probably do something special to also stay.
Okay, but like, why didn't they?
I think Vin just said, like, I'm happy with how my life went. I want to go be at peace with Elend, was her response.
Uh-huh.
She was like, not everyone wants to stay alive and see all the people they love die.
I would. That'd be fun.
And she's like,
I 100% also am in that same boat. I would love to have immortality.
I think it would be cool, but like Vin like fought her whole life. She was happy with Ellen, and she's like, I just want to chill in
That's
whatever
the thing,
might
though.
be in the afterlife.
It's weird because like you fought your whole life. Don't you want to enjoy parts of it that are not fighting?
Well, again, I think Ellen was passing on. They would have had to do something to get him to like the Well of Ascension to like give him enough power to stay as a Cone of Shadow like Kelsier did. So I think she's kind of like, Ellen's going, I'm going with him.
But also, you think she want to have like if she wanted to, and spoke to Ellen about it by telling him or whatever, right?
Maybe Ellen wanted to go. He wanted to go live in the afterlife, wherever that is, whatever that
Ellen
is.
is stupid.
They were done. They're like, we're done with this. Thanks.
I'm fully convinced. In my head, this is just how it works. It's always worked this way. Whenever they pass on, I'm fully convinced that they go feed another god.
Yeah, you've told me that before.
They just go into a different god's stomach.
I think I'm gonna tell you now. Brandon has confirmed I don't think he's ever going to
No, I know.
tell
you told
us,
me.
what happens
Yeah.
after, because he's a bit of a religious person, so he's like,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't want to even.
He's Mormon, so
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to touch that because.
not pushing my religion onto you all.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to give an answer here or there. Everyone can have their own idea about what the afterlife looks like.
That's my idea.
Yeah, that's your idea. That's fine.
They
That's
become
allowed.
god food.
I mean,
Sazed consumes them.
jeez. Oh my
No,
God.
so in my head, that god that eats the fucking people in the afterlife,
Mm.
where they just literally pass on and go into his stomach, is bigger than Adonisium.
I see. Adonisium was actually a shard of the bigger god.
Can you imagine? Wait, Adonisium must have had a vessel too, right?
We don't know at this point. I have no idea. I don't know if Adonisium was powerful enough to not need a vessel, or if there was a vessel. I have no idea.
You would think that if there was a vessel for Adonisium, they would get fucking consumed with the amount of power it would have had.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because if Vin could barely handle it,
I mean, we do know that, like, the person, like, basically the people who take on, like, these shards, like, they become more of, like, their personality basically becomes the shard. Like, they stop being who they were. Which is why, like, Preservation talks about how, like, Ruin used to be a good person, but, like, the longer he held the Shard of Ruin, the, like, worse he became.
that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, what if, like, what's his name? Someone give me his name. Evil God, right now.
Odium?
Misunderstood.
Ruin?
Odium.
Odium. I don't think Odium's an evil god, so.
Like, okay, whatever. What if, like, that's what happened? He got consumed by hate, which is the shard.
Yeah, it's like, Odium's like a hateful passion. So, yeah,
Yeah, but
I
like,
mean,
what if he's just like an innocent child?
well, Wit refers to him in his letter in the first book that he says Reyes was a bad person, unlike Atty. So he's like, Reyes was a terrible person and he took on a terrible shard, whereas the guy Atty who took the Shard of Ruin was a good person who took on the shard. He's like, and he still became a shitty person later on because of the shard. So like, he's like, imagine how bad
What, Odium?
Odium. Yeah, so like, Wit's kind of like, Atty was a good person. Atty took on became Ruin, and then Ruin obviously became a horrible person because of the shard's intent. And he's like, Race, who's Odium's vessel, he's like, Race was a shitty person to begin with, and he took on this hateful shard. So he's just like overall like a huge threat. That's what Wit says. Whether you believe him or not is your choice, but that's what Wit's saying. He's saying Odium's a huge threat, which is why he wants help like dealing with Odium. Which seems to be what Wit is here to do, is he's here to, like, do something about Odium.
I see.
Alright, anyways, we're moved back to Kaladin's point of view as he lies on his cell bed thinking all sorts of things he should know aren't true. But they haunt him anyways. He worries that Dalinar is lying about getting him out, about him being a guardian, and that Bridge 4 is actually happy that he's gone. However, he's distracted by hearing the cell door being unlocked. Kaladin jumps to his feet, instantly thinking that the king is going to have him executed. The guard jumps in surprise and states that Kaladin had been pardoned and not even stripped of his rank. Kaladin is wary, but he puts down the bowl he had grabbed as a weapon. So what do you think about Kaladin's immediate assumption that he was to be executed?
I mean, pretty valid thing.
Yep. Yep. Didn't have the best track record, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So they head down the hallway, and Kaladin can feel himself going back to Captain Kaladin instead of being the slave. However, he thinks that no one will ever do that to him again. Kaladin breathes in some fresh air from a window, but is surprised when they stop at another cell, where Adolin Colin seems to have been also locked up for a while, based on the growth of his facial hair. Kaladin is confused and shocked as Adolin asks if his requests have been followed, which the guard says they have. The guard tells Kaladin that Adolin insisted that he be locked up for as long as Kaladin was, refusing to leave. Kaladin goes up to Adolin and asks why he did that.
I wonder what he would have done if Kaladin actually did get killed.
What Adolin would have done?
Yeah, like, would he have also let them murder him?
Well, Dalinar specifically tells Elhokar, like, when they're deciding to put Kaladin in prison, he's like, if you try and execute him, I will turn on you, Elhokar. He tells
Yeah, no,
Elhokar
but,
that. So
yeah, but what I'm saying is, what would Adolin have done
I think Adolin also
after?
would have turned on Elhokar. I think they both
think?
would have. Yeah.
I think Adolin would have turned on Elhokar and Dalinar.
Nah, man.
Well, if,
Just for
if
funsies.
Dalinar's fighting for Kaladin, I don't think Adolin would have turned on him.
No, just for funsies.
Okay. So Kaladin goes up to Adolin and asks what.
Wait, that would be so.
Funny.
No, think about it, right? His father's like sick or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Let's say he doesn't end up on the good side. We get that fight anyway.
You're not wrong.
So Kaladin goes up to Adolin and asks why he did that, and Adolin just replies that without Kaladin, he would have been dead or maimed, and that Kaladin also saved Renarin. Kaladin then realizes that Adolin was wearing cologne. Adolin jokes that he wasn't going to be barbaric, but he did use cold water for his baths. Adolin and Kaladin both laugh and smile at each other as Adolin hesitantly reaches out a hand and Kaladin shakes it. Kaladin then apologizes.
It's not a protest. If you're literally just like, I'm living in the thing, okay.
Kaladin then apologizes for ruining Adolin's attempt to fight Sadeas, but Adolin replies that Elhokar ruined it by not just ignoring Kaladin and instead having a temper tantrum. So what was your first thought when you learned that Adolin locked himself up in protest?
So I thought it was the other dude, but yeah. Until he started talking, and then I was like, oh, never mind. This is. But I mean, hey, from a hateful guy to this is kind of wild.
Adolin is such a good friend. He's best bro, best boy.
I don't know about that much, but
Adolin's literally my favorite character, especially
ever
up to this
in all
point.
in all of the Cosmere?
Yes,
Really?
I love
Throughout all of these books.
Every book.
Yes, Adolin is my favorite.
Wow.
To be fair, I have a special bias towards Stormlight because it was my first Cosmere series.
But still,
Yeah, no, Adolin's my favorite.
who is Jesus' favorite in all of the books? If we've met them, of course.
I can
gonna be
see
sad.
if he's on a phone call because he's working right now. Okay, it's a character you guys haven't met from Mistborn
Okay,
Era
well-
2.
What's their name?
Wayne.
Wayne. Okay.
It's a guy from
Bruce
Mistborn Era
Wayne?
2. No, not Bruce Wayne. His first name is Wayne.
Got it. Okay. Can't wait till we get to Mistborn Era 2 now, so I can see his favorite character.
Yeah. The
We're
Mistborn
gonna
Era
write that
2
down.
is dubbed the Wax and Wayne era because the two main characters are called Wax and Wayne.
Wax and Wayne. That's
And it's funny because they have no moons on Scadrial, so they don't even know what a waxing and waning moon would be. The little pun. Anyways, so Adolin then asks if what Kaladin said about Amram is true, and Kaladin replies that it is. He is then surprised when Adolin instantly accepts what Kaladin says. Adolin states that Amram's reputation was too clean, as his father is the best person he knows, but even he has his faults. Kaladin then says that Dalinar told him that he shouldn't have tried to duel Amram. And Adolin replies that there are a bunch of rules that Kaladin likely doesn't know about, so he wasn't allowed to duel Amram due to their rank difference. So what do you think about Adolin instantly accepting Kaladin's claims about Amram?
Who the fuck is Adolin? Oh, that's
Wow.
great. Honestly, I felt so happy. Like one of the first fucking people,
Who is Adolin?
one of the first people to actually believe him, and it's him. That's why I was like, oof. You know,
Again, like
this gotta
this chapter is one of the chapters that made me Adolin one of my favorite characters. I was like, yes, someone believes Kaladin. They're a light eyes, and they have no qualms. They're here for him. Really, I feel like one of the few reasons Adolin has been suspicious of Kaladin is because he's catching on to the fact that he has powers. So it's like Adolin is a good friend. Tell him everything. I just want Kaladin to tell Adolin about his powers. That's all I want.
That's all you want, huh?
That's all I wanted. I was like, please, who cares about Dalinar anymore? Tell Adolin. So they enter a room where the jailers obviously hang out, and it's filled with men, mostly Bridge 4. The men salute and then cheer loudly as they come and grab his hand and hug him. Renarin is even there in his Bridge 4 uniform, although he goes to speak to Adolin first. Kaladin also notices some of Adolin's men over by one of the walls, with something covered in a sheet. Adolin then quiets the room and announces that what they won from the duel, and that Kaladin helped in, and announces that one of the sets of shards are going to Kaladin. What was your first thought when Adolin said he was giving the shards to Kaladin?
Kaladin's not going to accept it.
He's gonna reject it.
Kaladin just answered like, no, not again, not again. Kaladin like goes into like PTSD mode.
We're not doing this.
Immediately, Kaladin feels dread as he thinks that the same thing as last time is happening. He asks Adolin if he can do whatever he wants with the shards. Adolin says yes, so Kaladin immediately says he's giving the shards to Moash. Moash's face.
When he said that, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Right? Why Moash of all people? Like, fuck Moash.
Because I knew exactly what was about to fucking happen. This man who said, "Oh, I want to kill the king." Yeah, let's hand this man the fucking shit. Yep.
Moash's face goes white, and Adolin quickly takes Kaladin off to the side to talk. Adolin asks why Kaladin is rejecting the gift, and if it's to spite him, but Kaladin replies that too many of his friends have died to Shardblades and he can't touch them. He says he doesn't want his life to change because he became a Light Eyes, but he wants things to change for people like him as he is now. Also, he can fight without shards, but giving one of his men shards will give them an extra fighter if the assassin in white comes back. Adolin eventually agrees and tells Moash the shards are his. Moash goes over and grabs the blade, and Glory's friend bursts around him as the room cheers for him. Rock then pulls Kaladin outside as the rest of the bridgemen follow, and more bridgemen and guards are outside to cheer for him as he leaves the prison building. Dalinar is also outside watching him as Adolin approaches his father. Kaladin gets swept up in the excitement as Rock talks about a stew he's been cooking the whole time Kaladin was locked up. So what do you think about how Adolin giving Kaladin shards went versus how he won them with Amram?
Did I sneeze?
Huh?
Yes, you did.
Did I actually? I usually mute for it, but I got like distracted.
Totally did. I don't know what you're talking about.
I feel like I sneezed. Okay. Anyway, what was the question?
What did you think about how Kaladin getting shards from Adolin went versus how it went when he was with Amram?
He didn't though.
No, I'm trying to say, like, what do you think about like the difference?
He just chose not to use it.
He didn't get them. He never touched them. They're not his.
Okay. What do you think, Mythic?
I'm wrong. What did I think?
Yeah.
About him getting the thing versus
Like,
what?
Yeah,
Well,
like
I mean,
the
it's
differences
much
between.
better. Much better now. I mean, he should have accepted it, to be honest. But I think there's going to be a bigger reason that he didn't accept it later on.
So Kaladin briefly goes over to Teft and asks how the men handled things while he was locked up. Teft replies that some of them wanted to break him out, but Teft had beat them out of that, as Kaladin wasn't losing his rank, and all soldiers get locked up at some point. Teft also
So funny.
Teft also mentions that a lot of the men are angry about Amram and are interested in hearing more about Kaladin's past. Kaladin then goes off to see Moash. He helps him put on the plate and tells Moash that he agrees with the plans of the men Moash had been talking with. Moash is excited, but Kaladin insists that although this is for revenge for Moash, he believes this is what is best for the kingdom. Moash then mentions that he's going to go train instead of going to the celebration. So what do you think about Kaladin agreeing to help Moash?
That's not gonna end well.
Yeah, really is.
Alright, that was our final chapter. We have overview questions. First of all, do you think that Kaladin will discover that Shallan is a surge binder now that Syl is on the lookout for pattern?
Yes, like
Repeat it.
100% yes.
Who's gonna?
I said
What?
since Syl is on the look, because remember Syl saw pattern during the duel, because pattern was distracting the guy fighting Renarin. So I was asking, do you think Kaladin's going to discover that Shallan is a surge binder now because Syl's on the lookout for pattern?
Not yet. I
Think it's
say
still
that
gonna
comes
take
a
a while?
bit later. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think later is in later this book, or do you think next book?
Maybe at the end of this book.
End of this book, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the same time that she finds out that,
He killed his brother.
exactly.
So what do you think we're going to learn from the Ghostbloods now that Shallan is a proper member?
Their purpose. They're gonna get pulled into a meeting. They're gonna be like, "Welcome to the annual, destroy the world meeting."
Yeah, pretty much.
What do you think their purpose may be? Because if they are from Scadrial, what do you think their purpose would be being here on Roshar?
What the fuck is Scadrial?
Scadrial is where Mistborn takes place, the planet.
Right. Oh, they are from there, huh?
1 second. Ask the question again.
Maybe
Is
they're
it-
trying to save the shards.
I was asking, what do you think the Ghostbloods' purpose would be if they, since it seems like they might be from Scadrial? Why do you think they're here on Roshar? What is their purpose?
I don't know. Honestly. What do I think their Ghostblood's purpose is on Roshar?
Yeah, what do you think? Why do you think they're here?
Because we know that they. Well, we don't know, but we're assuming they're coming from where
Scadrial.
Mistborn's from.
So it's like, why did they come to Roshar if they're not from Roshar originally?
Maybe there's something that's gonna happen here that they need to make.
They came for plot armor.
They're here to get some shard plate.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know why Kelsey would show up here, to be honest. Or Spook. One of the two.
Maybe it's both. Remember, they were working together at the end of Mistborn's Secret History.
Yeah, but it's got to be one of them.
Also, what do you think is going to happen now that Kaladin is on board with Moesh's plan, or Moesh's group's plan?
Beat it.
What do you think is going to happen, just like generally in the book, now that Kaladin is on board with helping Moesh?
Oh, well, Alucard's gonna get fucked.
You think they're going to succeed and Ellikar's going to die?
I don't know if he's gonna die, but he might just get dethroned in general.
What do you think, Mythic?
Definitely think he's gonna get killed. To be honest, I kind of hope he does. Fucking child throwing Paladin into the. Yeah, I think he's gonna die.
All right. Any other thoughts or theories you guys had before we end the episode?
Kelsier is God and will, kill them all eventually.
Anything from you, Darkness, before we end?
Also,
I believe. Oh.
join the Patreon.
Yes.
not yet. Not yet.
Oh yeah, I
Not
forgot.
yet.
We gotta do that at the very end. Yeah.
Yeah, it's our sign off now. But we don't know Shallan's home situation yet, right? Like how it is like right now.
Yeah, no, she has not heard from her brothers. I think
There's
since
so much
she
to,
was still in
like-
Carbranth.
There's so much to go through, cause we have that.
For sure.
We have Jasna's situation. We got to figure out where the fuck in the Shattered Plains or whatever the
Oathgate is.
Ithuru or whatever it is and the
Yep.
gate. We don't know what role Talatna is gonna fucking play.
A lot, and yeah.
Yeah.
We also
The only
don't,
person in this podcast that can say it is Vinay.
we don't know who that one dude is associated with the people that was gathering the sentences before the people died.
Terravangent, we have not seen him in a while.
Yeah, but we have him and we don't know who he's associated with yet, right?
Yeah, we don't know if he's his own thing, if he's associated with one of the other groups. We know that he, I believe, knew something about what Gavilar was planning, but we're not fully sure if he's actually properly involved with them or if he just knew about it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different factors at play.
Yeah, we also don't know what that one woman is gonna do, considering that we've just dismissed her and her capabilities. What's her name?
Yatil?
The one that one.
The wife.
What, the masked woman?
Oh, Aesudan, Ellikar's wife. I'm assuming
No,
you mean
the other wife.
the stepmom? Shallan's
No,
stepmom? Which
that
wife?
guy.
Huh?
God
Wow,
damn
wow.
it. The one that I always got the name wrong. I got the name wrong from everyone, but
Eli?
there you
Thaddeus'
go,
wife?
Eli. Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, there's so many wives. Just saying the wife is not helpful.
The important ones.
There's many important
And then
wives.
Dalinar's sickness, we don't know what's going on with him. But there's so many things we need to figure out, and it's all just gonna come crashing through.
There's a lot of shit happening.
It's all happening at one time.
And I feel like at least 90% is all just tied in, which is why I think it's all gonna crash through.
Yeah, we've only got 5 episodes left for the end of
I
the book.
say that if they get the honor blades that are left there. Wait, there was one missing, right?
Well,
From
we believe that Zeth has one. And then Taln had one when he appeared. He had his blade. Because his blade wasn't in the circle because he went back to Damnation and it goes with you. So there was 9 left on Roshar. Zeth potentially has one, so there might be 8 others out there. We also don't know what happened to Taln's blade. We don't know who has that currently.
we also don't know if they're gonna be in the same exact spot because they could be spread out, right?
Yeah, it's very possible that over the last 4,500 years, someone moved the swords out of that circle. I mean, they definitely took at least one because Zeth has one potentially. So
Yeah. Also, why the fuck was he truthless again?
he was truthless because he said that the Surge Binders were coming back, and they said, "Nah, you're fucking wrong, bitch." It made him truthless.
That's great.
And then he saw Kaladin, and now he's having an existential crisis at Urithiru.
Yeah, because why did they make me truthless?
So
it was actually true.
He says something about how people can't get into year 3, right?
So you can't get there by foot, but Zeth can fly. That's how he gets there.
Okay, how do you?
I believe he says that he just found it just by flying around places, I think. Because he travels, I think, a lot of the time by flying around Roshar, doing stuff for
Okay,
Terravant.
we gotta figure out how the fuck he got that sword though.
Oh, the sword? As far as we know, he's had it since he was in Shinovar. Because part of his rules of being truthless is that he can't give up his sword. So he had that before becoming truthless, or when he became truthless, they gave it to him.
So they had a sword, and what if multiple people become truthless though? What, they gonna give them the fucking 10 swords?
Yes.
Apparently. Or the 9, because Talon had his.
Is he truthless then?
No, it's just
Oh,
for some reason the
truthless is a good
Shin
weapon.
had at least one of the honor blades, and so they for
Yeah,
some
but
reason
that's
Zeth
dumb.
had
Like, why
it.
is the correlation of being truthless with the sword?
We don't know if it is or not. Like he might have just had it because, like, as they've said at least about shard blades, like it's very hard to
Well, he
take that from
stole it.
someone. So he could have had it previous to
stole it.
it. We don't know.
Okay.
He just stole it.
Yeah, so it's gonna be very interesting though once we see Taravangian and or Zeth again, because is Zeth gonna keep trying to kill Dalinar, or is he gonna turn on Taravangian since he doesn't know if he's truthless anymore?
Right. I also am curious where the fuck the Oathgate goes.
Well, as far as we know, the Oathgates go to Urithiru. That's what Yasna thinks.
Right, but the Oathgate is at Urithiru, right?
Well, no, they're saying that there was a bunch of them, and they all connected, and that was how you got to Urithiru, was from the Oathgates in the other cities.
Okay, this is just like waypoints.
Yeah, so
pretty
Shallan
much.
says that in the past it was mentioned that the Radiance had some form of instantaneous travel. So basically Yasna, I believe, and now Shallan thinks that the Oathgates are basically some sort of like teleportation platform of some sort.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what they've implied, is that there's instant travel, which would imply like teleportation basically.
I wonder if you could just bring armies through that. That's probably what they did actually for the final desolation.
It depends how
For
big
the
it is.
desolations in general. Well, honestly, you could just tunnel armies.
Yeah, sure, they can just go single file through or something. We don't know what it looks like, really, besides
Regardless
if
of
it's a platform.
that, they look pretty big in the map.
Yeah, it's at least as big as like a big. It's either, as I said, it's either that tower or the like purple thing. So it looks like it'd be pretty big either way. So at least as big as like a large building, unless it's just like a small area inside one of them. I don't think Shallan has a good reference for how big or small it may be.
Yeah, okay, I'm satisfied with what we know so far.
Yep, same.
Getting lots of information. Next.
Can't wait to meet Wayne, to be honest.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Wayne is a
to-
very controversial character. People either love him or hate him, I find.
As much as I don't like Venerin because he's fucking dumb, I want him to search mine along with Adolin.
Alright, so next week we will be reading chapters 67 to 70. So we're doing
Wow, why only 4 chapters?
because they're longer than these last few chapters.
No.
Really? Last time you gave us like 32 chapters.
Yeah, but this next, even though this is only 4 chapters, it's 5 pages longer than what we read this week.
Huh.
So,
Okay.
yeah, instead of being
5
like,
whole pages, guys. Oh my goodness.
yeah, 67 pages instead of 62 pages.
Darkness.
Cool.
However, will we listen to or read all of these chapters? Pages.
We
Okay,
won't.
5 more. It's 5 more. Oh my
I know, it's a
God.
whole 5 pages. Maybe we'll just go back to 50 pages like we used to do in Warbreaker.
Yes, please.
I know how much you love to just drag it out even longer.
Yeah, let's go back further.
Alright, yeah.
Regrets.
Thank you guys all so much for listening. We really appreciate it. Sorry, my voice has been really off today. I am getting sick. I am sick. So
Don't forget to
apologies
do
for
it,
that.
Darkness. Don't forget. I
Join
did
the-
it once.
Join the thingy for the fancy people.
The Patreon, if you want to listen to me go through the preview chapters of Wind and Truth, Stormlight 5 by Brandon Sanderson. And yeah, we will hopefully see you again next week. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.